All right, I guess you start off, bro.
Okay, what's up? How's it going? No, I'm just saying, like, the least we should do is, like, introduce ourselves again.
What do you
Like,
mean
this.
introduce? Like,
Not be like, what? No, no, I'm
my
just.
name is
Not like that. I'm just saying, like, okay, what's up? How's it
Slim
going?
Shady.
No, it's just, I'm just saying, it's been like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Anyways,
I don't know.
it's been a minute. Anyways, like, okay, we're just gonna
But
do.
we don't have that many subscribers.
Regardless, just to be like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's poppin', homie?
Whatever.
Anyways, it's been a minute. We've
Mhm.
just been, like, busy and tired.
Mhm.
Anyways, back at it again with another story time or something.
Yeah.
Something or other. An instructional guide for y'all. Maybe. Anyways. So, what you said we were going to be talking about, like shrooms?
Yeah. Like how we started off growing them and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but like, so do we just start out like right out the bat?
Like, I remember I saw them online. I'm like, okay. We already tried them. We already used them. And then we found out they're legal to, like, to grow, like, to buy, like, the spores. They were legal to buy.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you could just buy them for like, what's it called, research purposes or whatever.
Mhm.
You could just look, like under petri dishes or whatever. You could just, like examine them. That's the general purpose of, what we'd use the spores.
Yeah. Not for growing.
And as far as we're concerned, that's what we used them for.
Yeah.
For research purposes.
Mhm.
Okay.
We didn't use it for.
Oh no, but like, look. Okay, no, but like, so you were looking at them before, Okay, excuse me, because this is how I remember it starting off. We were talking at it like, okay, we were hanging out with your homie at the time, Andy. Like we were smoking some weed. You were like, okay, like let's do something, like let's grow some weed. We're like, but not as like we don't have a space for that shit. Like okay, so let's not do that. Like mushrooms could be easily like kept in a shoebox, for example.
Yeah.
So, like let's do that. That's what like what I was thinking. Is that not, the way that you started about it, or you were like thinking about it way before that? You're like, okay, like sports syringes.
No, I found out that it was legal to get the stuff to grow it. So I'm like, let's try to do it. I didn't.
And it was cheap too.
No, it wasn't cheap, bro.
Yeah, like it was like $40 for like $20 for the syringe.
Exactly. And then you still have to get the other stuff.
Relatively cheap.
Yeah, if you were gonna do the PF tactic, the one that we did first, the one with like the rice. Yeah, that was easy. But besides that, everything's expensive. But you need if you're gonna do it like not buy the stuff from like pre-packed and everything. You need a pressure cooker. You need to get the the ingredients.
Yeah,
fresh,
you need to
get
get ripe berries or certain ingredients. You gotta get them sterilized.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Like you gotta get all these ingredients, and yeah, because like we basically like we decided to order the stuff because we found that like more convenient.
Yeah.
Like, cause again, we didn't even know if it was gonna work. So like, what? Might as well not like
Fuck
put
it
a
up
full
from the beginning.
Yeah, put a full investment on it. Get a pressure cooker, and do all that stuff. But yeah, we had to, like, yeah, like basically we started off asking Andy, like, yo, what's up? So like, what do you think we should do? And like he was all like, okay, like I got a girlfriend.
Get up with the pressure cooker and this and that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, he did it. He asked about the pressure cooker first.
His girlfriend's the one that had it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, you could talk about it, cause I'm like basically cutting you out. Like, well, we remember like how it going down.
So I remember like, okay, you guys get the syringe, you pay for them, and I'll pay for the tubs, and my girlfriend uses the pressure cooker and does the rest. I'm like, fuck it. So we did the PF tactic where it was just like rice and in a little jar and shit like that.
Oh, you mean PF tech? You mean like the cake method, like the way
the cake, the PF. That's what it's called, the PF tactic.
Okay, well I call it the cake because it's easier.
No, yeah, but PF. That's
yeah, PF tech. Sorry.
So, basically, you just sterilize the rice. Make sure you put it in a pressure cooker. You You put it in a pressure cooker. Or
No,
you
yeah,
just put
you
it in a
no,
boil or whatever.
no. You put it in a glass jar, whatever and then you put
No,
it
but
in water, and then you put it in a pressure cook,
yeah,
whatever, and then
you just gotta cook the
like
rice.
sterilize it. You gotta sterilize
Get
the.
rid of it, and then you gotta dry it again. You can't let it stay wet, because if not, it's gonna fucking.
I'm
fuck
pretty
it
sure
up.
it stays dry, but like.
No, you have to dry it.
Okay, well, okay. We have to dry. I'm sorry. Like it's been.
All
A minute.
of like from what?
Yeah, you gotta keep it sterilized regardless.
Yeah, you
That's
have
all
to
you're trying to say.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you dry it, and then you just put it on the.
Keep it in a jar.
Yeah, keep it in a jar. You drill a hole. You put tape or whatever, and you inject it with the
Yeah, you
spore syringe.
inoculate it, and you keep it at a certain temperature, which should be like around
60 degrees.
depending,
No, that's too
75,
cold.
75.
No, like 75, yeah.
Around like 75.
60
And
degrees
in
is
a,
like
in a nice warm
the very
temperature.
lowest.
Maybe a little bit of the way that we did it, like
No,
maybe
just keep in the dark.
Yeah,
You're
in the
supposed to keep
darkness.
in the dark.
But,
We
like,
fucked it up.
Yeah, we fucked it up. That's what I was gonna say.
Uh,
Like we kind of turned it off and on, just thinking that it might,
Mhm.
stimulate growth. Because towards the end, it took a while.
No, yeah, it's because we turned on the fan. We were dumb.
Yeah. Okay, but continue from like the start that we were already leaving off on. So like she inoculated the bag.
She gave us.
The jar.
She just gave us for. I don't know what she did. For all I know is she could ask somebody else to do it. I don't know. All I know is she gave us the jars, and there were already growing shrooms inside the jars when they gave it to us, and she hasn't taken them out of the cake. So
just to give you guys, excuse me, just to give you guys an idea, it was like not like a huge, like mason jar. It was like 2-3 inches each.
yeah, it was a really small. It was like when you guys go to the dispensary and you guys get an eighth, a really small jar like that.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was a mason jar, but that size for like an eighth,
Yeah.
just for an eighth.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what we were expecting in terms of growth.
Yeah, and then I made what's called a tub. What do you call it?
A monotub.
A monotub. I made a monotub, and it was poorly made.
We did it with what we had.
The thing that I feel that fucked us up was that she gave us to us when it was already going shrooms in the fucking jar. First of all.
Oh no, yeah, it's already too late.
And it was already like growing mold, like
yeah, no, it started
its
growing
own
blue.
mold.
Yeah,
like
blue.
it wasn't like blue, it was like green, like bad mold.
Oh, I remember kind of having this blue hue to it. Or greenish
that
hue,
was
I guess.
from the mushroom, but besides the
Oh yeah, once we started taking it off.
when we took it out,
yeah.
it was already green, and it was like, what the fuck? Like we couldn't it was on day one when we took them out, and it
Yeah, we got a
had the
couple
bad mold.
shrooms, but
Yeah.
that's about it. Like maybe a handful. And if
And-
y'all know, we're just supposed to at least. I mean, not supposed to get at least, but I'm just saying, if we got a couple mason jars, at least expected yield would be like at least a couple ounces, maybe 2. But like we got less than that, maybe like an ounce. Man, less than that, maybe like 5.
Really sorry, but
Sorry,
I'll go to
I
the
mean-
restroom real quick.
Okay, you really do?
Yeah.
Alright. Shishi.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright. My bad. Okay, so you want to start it off, since you're the one who left it off.
Yeah, let's go with when we started off like growing them by ourselves.
So like, okay, so like right after, like
After that, like after the first film.
okay, after like okay, so after we threw away like all the other ones,
Okay,
you
so-
said you did the research or whatever.
So we got into like YouTube, and like we went to that class online and shit, where we learned about the how to make them grow as like
yeah, like
the
'cause
best
they
way
had
to
like
make 'em grow
mycology,
successfully,
like
everything.
like what's it called? Not tour thing, but like they had like a little like class thing that they've been going through, like so like courses or whatever that they've been showing.
Yeah.
And it's been, like
It was really
and you guys,
helpful.
yeah, it was really helpful, really useful. And they told you 101s, like sterilization process, like what you got to go through. That was pretty helpful.
Mhm.
So,
So do you want me to like get into how we grew them first, or you want me to get like how,
no,
like, how
tell
to
me
grow
the
them
process.
first?
Like, tell me the process of like
How to grow them?
No, not there. You just like how you said. I was like looking it up. Like what was the process? Like how did you figure out what websites to go to? What to like for example, I found.
The problem is I don't remember the websites at this
You don't
time.
have to. You don't have to remember exactly the websites. But personally, like, what I did first, I looked up, like, essentially, like, what were the best, like, nutrients or whatever for, like, like,
No, what I
growth.
did first was
Oh, sorry.
I
You want to
looked.
start?
My bad. I'm sorry for interrupting. But what I looked up first was I looked up all the issues that we had with the
The
PF
first batch.
tactics and all the reasons why it went bad, and from there that's where I kept on going.
Okay.
So I found out that our problem was it was too humid in there because she gave us the PF cakes too late,
And then we
and it
left
was
them all
already growing.
dry,
Yeah,
too,
and then when
by
we
the
took
end.
them out, it was already moldy. In the mold, the problem was instead of leaving the cake that had mold, we left it with the other ones, and they all got affected.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's really contagious, the mold.
Yeah.
That was the issue. We left them all in the same container.
Yeah, we had to learn that later, too,
Yeah.
with the next batch that we did. But, so I'm going to continue from where I left off.
What do you mean?
What I was just saying though, like what was that basically we're like figuring out, oh, like what grains to get, like what, again, like you said, you used rice, right? Like the first time going
The
around.
first time we didn't use it. The girl did.
The girl did. Okay, well, the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyways, so she used rice, and basically you could use technically anything.
Yeah.
Like what we looked up, or what at least what I looked
Wood
up.
chippings, anything, bro. Really, anything.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
I
gotta
know.
sterilize it.
I know, technically anything, but what I'm just
Yeah.
saying is like what I looked up was best for like growing just in general was rye berries, and that's what like what I looked up when like what I got as a result. So like I looked up basically how you said dried like sterilized rye berries, and basically one of the first websites that popped up with Norspor, and I ended up using those. Ended up like later like being an issue because like some came up all fucked up, like some came up unsterilized or came up contaminated or whatever. But anyway, not to throw shade, no shade at them, like no, just saying like that was our issues, like our customer service. We even talked to them, but anyways, that was like what I looked up. Like you looked up which species, right? Like the most popular species at the time, or the one that we
I
could
looked
get
the
was
most
penis envy
the best species for beginners because there's some that are less
or golden.
prone to get any other molds.
Oh yeah, and just to get a reminder from you, when we like first grew the first batch, it was golden teacher, or what was it?
Yeah, golden teacher.
Okay, sorry. And continue
I
on
mean,
forward.
linesman.
Linesman. Okay, yeah.
Linesman. Yeah.
For sure, bro. That teriyaki.
Yeah, tastes like chicken. No, yeah. So legal mushrooms, okay?
Okay. Okay, when we grew our lions, man. Okay, no.
Yeah,
Okay, I know.
lions, man.
Continue.
Okay, so where
I was saying like what species, like how did like what was there at the time?
so there was the penis envy.
It was like one of the most
The most potent one,
or
supposedly,
common.
and common, but they didn't have it. It was always sold out when we tried to get it. And golden teacher, B plus.
Oh yeah, isn't that the one we got? B.
Yeah, B plus. We got it, but we didn't grow that one. That's the problem. Yeah.
There's a bunch of, if you guys like are willing to like take your time, study, do your research. There's like again, because each mushroom gives you a different effect.
Yeah, if you guys wait, I want to give like a full guide how to do it properly, like at the end of this, like after the story.
I'm honestly down.
Okay.
So let's just go for it, depending how long this lasts. But regardless, so like I was saying, so like if you look up, different ones have different effects. Like some give you creativity, some give you more like a visual effect, some give you a body high.
But some are really harder to grow, and you also have to look up
the environment they should grow.
And yeah, exactly. Like my brother said, the environment that they need to grow. Like they all have
different temperatures.
Yeah, temperatures they need. Okay. Most of them
like take the same nutrients. Most of them take the
no,
but, like,
yeah.
But as far as like lighting,
the
and
temperature is the most important part, and the lighting. Some of them don't need any light, and some of them do.
Yeah. So yeah, best to figure it out. Like it tells you usually in the description, but regardless, do your research before you grow anything or you buy anything. Okay. So yeah, we ended up getting B plus because that was the most common.
No, we got a golden teacher.
Oh, golden teacher again.
Yeah, that's the only one that we grew. B plus was the one that we got last. We just didn't use it.
Oh yeah, fuck. Yeah, right. That's a bummer. Anyway, for another time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we ended up picking golden teacher, and so after that, like, we just ended up like using or making another monotube, right? Or did you end up using the same one? Sorry.
No, we used a different monotube because that was the issue.
So we're gonna go talk about it.
So the issues with our monotube was we just put a bunch of holes all around, thinking it was gonna be perfect. You need to make a monotube. A monotube is where you put your mushrooms to grow. It's basically pot.
Or it's a spot where you could actually, like germinate or inoculate your.
Wait, is that the monotube? No,
yeah.
I thought that was the.
Oh no, yeah, that's sorry, completely different thing. The monotube is definitely I was thinking about the thing that it was similar to monotube, but like you could.
Yeah, just the sterilized room.
A sterilized thing. Sorry, continue.
Okay, so for a successful grow, a monotube is basically where you put your mushrooms to grow. You could have it in a little tub, but the monotube is basically a little ecosystem. You put a little dome over it. That way, the humidity from the water that you spritz on top of it or around it would go, like from the bottom all the way to the top. It will recycle itself and make the
from the humidity.
Grow. Yeah. So you have to create a perfect ecosystem.
That's why you have to figure out the temperatures.
That was our problem. We just put a bunch of holes everywhere, and the vaporizer was just escaping through all the holes. So what you would do to get the perfect monotube is get wherever you're gonna start growing your mushrooms, from right there, an inch up, make a little bit of small holes right there, like all around.
Inches spread apart from each other. Excuse me.
Yeah, like a good 3 fingers apart. And just pop a little hole in there.
Very small individual holes. Yeah. And basically just enough just so you could have like a little bit of air entrance and air escape.
Yeah.
We would basically what we did, sorry not to cut you off, but we would add gauzing or like cotton, the little cotton things.
No, for those little holes you would add the it's called the tape, the doctor tape or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, but like it was like a cotton type tape or something, like basically a medical tape.
Yeah, medical tape.
That was really thin, but like could have like
air could still go through.
Yeah.
So, and then on the top, for the top holes, because keep in mind you have to have a whole dome over it. So for the top holes, you do it like as high as you. The bigger the dome, the higher it is, the bigger the shrooms are gonna grow.
More likely, yeah.
Yeah. So, however you do it, you could just keep it. I would do it as high as possible. Do like 4 big holes, or if it's a small box or whatever, 2 or 1, and cover it up with twice as much tape. That way, air could still come out, but all the vapor could still stay in.
The reason for that is also because once you're okay. Like the process starts, you inoculate the bag. It takes around maybe 7 to 14 days till you see a result in your inoculation.
No, it takes like a month.
No, to see a result. Like 7 or 14 days to see a result. So you would start to see like maybe white, and then like after.
No, it's not always white. It depends on the species.
Species.
Some of them.
Species. Yeah.
Some of them look different.
Yeah.
Because you might
also
freak
depending
out.
On like the pink. Like because they got pink oyster mushrooms too.
Yeah.
Which are very delicious. I think they're pink. Anyways.
No, but yeah, the what's called.
The species that changes the.
Yeah, because the what's called the psilocybin, or what? No, not psilocybin.
You're thinking about the thing and.
Fuck, what do you call it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
The white stuff. No, it's not always white, but fuck.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. But regardless, the form or whatever, like the mass that is created from mushrooms, I guess, like the mushroom spores.
No, yeah, but I'm trying to explain it because fuck.
Yeah, you want to go back, you want to retrack. Anyways, so basically after we were done, inoculating the bag, we would wait 7 to 14 days for a result. For us, it took a bit longer than expected. Don't trip out if it does. Just keep on doing the same process you're doing. Just don't fuck up anything.
The problem is when you inoculate the bag, if you keep on looking at it, you're gonna fuck it up.
Well,
the best thing to do
is just forget about it.
Is just forget about it. if you have to, because it could go bad. What I would do is before you inoculate the bag,
Be sterile.
be
And
sterile
use
and keep the
alcohol and
bag before like a
99%
riot
propyl
berries or
alcohol.
whatever. Keep it there for 1 or 2 days. If you notice any mold, no, give it 3 to 4 days. If you notice any mold growing from it, then it's the bag is no good as it is. So no point to wasting your syringe or whatever you're gonna use to inoculate it.
Yeah. Mind if we talk about prep though? Like, cause that's honestly something very important.
Okay, so we're gonna start like getting into how to grow like fully.
No,
I'm
not
down.
fully. Not
No,
well,
cause
we could. But I'm just saying like prep in general, like
that's
as
right. So
in like
let's get into it.
cleanliness and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Cause cause we did it in the bathroom. No, we did it here in the room.
Yeah, we cleaned the room.
Yeah,
we used
basically
the
we
vacuum.
sanitized everything around us, and we kept cause we have a dog. We kicked them out basically for a
Is
good
that your
minute.
wallet? I'm sorry.
Yes, my wallet. I gotta kick that out of the dog bowl.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so we cleaned the whole room, sanitized it, used alcohol, rubbing alcohol, like a 99% propyl alcohol or whatever.
And we also made a tub.
Yeah, what you were gonna
No,
say?
we made a tub. Like it's not a mono tub. We made a tub.
The one that we were talking about earlier, the one with where you put
Yeah. So we got a big plastic see-through tub. We cut 2 holes for our arms to go through, and we cleaned it with alcohol. We put the bag that we were gonna inoculate. We put the syringe in there, and we got it ready to clean it up. And what's it called? I'm sorry.
And so like once we were done, you were saying like cutting the holes through the things
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever.
So I'm sorry.
You lost your train of thought.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. And we cut the holes. We put everything in there. We cleaned it up. We got ready to inoculate. We cleaned the syringe. We did everything we needed to do. We heated it up with the little torch. Perfect.
Yeah. And so basically, we made this perfect, just so we could, like fit our hands, make it all sterile, clean the inside of it, clean the outside of it, and like we would keep our hands and wash our hands thoroughly. And
the biggest problems where people go do shrooms, grow shrooms is that part. You guys gotta be clean. Where you grow the shrooms, like where you're gonna plant to what's called. Like actually grow it, the little monotub has to be fucking clean, spotless. You have to clean it very well with alcohol, and then dry it out. Make sure it has no alcohol left over when you do it.
yeah.
And same thing where you inoculate. I'm
Cause
sorry.
you're completely right. But what the issue is, like, yeah, cleanliness is key, but at the same time, you can't keep it too clean somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because if you leave like rubbing alcohol in there, you risk of
Killing
taking
the bacteria.
Yeah, killing the good bacteria that you want, the germination.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the mycelium. Which
there we go. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The mycelium. Not all mycelium looks the same. So when after you inoculate the bag, all you're looking is for the mycelium. The mycelium is the thing that makes the mushrooms grow. It's the actual living organism. Like in plants, when you see plants grow, the stem and everything is the actual plant. The rose is the plant. The
roots
seeds.
or whatever.
The seeds are what make other plants grow. In mushrooms, the mycelium is the plant. The mycelium is always under the ground. It's
basically the roots of the
yeah.
system.
It's the root. It connects to other mycelium and it communicates and shit like that. It's so amazing. But the mushrooms is what spread out the spores, which is not really part of the actual
It's
mushroom.
just what allows to inoculate even more.
Yeah. So
it just creates bigger mass. Basically, that's how you spread mushrooms. How you grow mushrooms.
Yeah, mycelium is really
Interesting.
really resistant. So if you have it grown on you let it grow perfectly in the bag and you let it get very white or whatever color it is, it's fully colonized of the mycelium. It's really hard for it to get. Depends on the species. The one that we hear. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Give me a second. You keep on going.
No, yeah, for sure. Like basically you were saying like the one that we got, was it took a while. We ended up having to break it down like around like half a month or so, like so we could have more growth, stimulate growth. So we ended up doing that, and around like a month and a half period, and that's when we ended up fully inoculating the whole bag, having it fully sterilized, and like have it fully colonized by like the mycelium and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, that's
That was the good part, and we got what's called, we got horse manure.
like
We heard it
supposedly
was the
that was
best. Yeah, and we got cocoa core and
just something to give it fiber. It had like basically
mhm.
I forgot oxidants or whatever, some type of like mixture inside of it gave it like more what's it called, moisture. Basically it
Mhm.
allowed to keep more moisture inside, like so the humidity would be perfect, and
Mhm.
like ultimate would be like the best mushroom, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. So what you would do after that is either put it in the bag and put the rest of the manure in the bag and let it colonize in there.
Yeah, we would mix it up, like layer it individually. Like
Mm-hmm.
we would layer like a bit of the manure and then a bit of the, like the rye berry
Yeah, the
mixture
way we
with the
did it, instead of
mycelium.
putting it in the bag, we put it in the tub.
Mhm.
I feel where we fucked up was we, instead of letting it get more colonized, we just give it fresh there and let it try to grow.
Oh yeah,
That
like
was
basically
our
we
mess
did
up.
it a bit too early. I feel like.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I felt like. But the correct way to do it is, you guys, if you guys have the monotube, like I said, you guys tape it up all the holes as much as possible, even the bottom ones. You usually, okay. So you have the monotube, like I said, you have the small holes on the bottom, an inch from where you have the top of the dirt and the rye berry mix, so it's gonna colonize there,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be ready to grow.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna want to do is tape it up all on all the holes very well, and you wanna have the, like I repeat myself again, for the monotub, have an inch up over where you're gonna start growing the mushrooms, and like three fingers worth width apart
A space
of space
between
between
the
each
holes.
hose all around the tub. And on top of the tub, depending on how big the tub is,
Decently sized holes
yeah,
on the
four
top, or
holes
two.
to 1 to 2. Doesn't matter how many holes you need. Just It's just so the air could escape, but make sure it's not to the evaporation could escape too. So not too many holes either.
Yeah, and that's why we would use a lot of gauze, or not a lot of gauze, but just enough, just so it could have enough circulation for air to come in, but not enough air circulation, so it like dries and like keeps the moisture inside, keeps it intact. So once like we would be done, basically like layering it like a cake, like first layer like manure, and second layer like the mycelium, and then repeat
Yeah.
like repeat the process, and basically after that we would mist it nicely with water.
No,
Or
you wouldn't mist it yet.
oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. I'm so sorry. You're right. You would mist it with water. Have
yeah,
it at a consistent where when you squeeze it drops 1 or 2 drops, no more nor less. If it drops too much, you put too much water.
yeah.
Okay. But you have to mix it up very well. So everything, you just grab a handful, squeeze, and 1 or 2 drops.
Yeah, just to make sure, like, and that maybe that sounds a little bit too rough, but at this point the mycelium should be able to handle like
Mhm.
rough like
But
handling. That's why
keep-
you would keep it in the bin.
But keep in mind, be sterile, wear gloves,
Yeah.
keep your hands clean.
Be aware of your surroundings,
Yes,
and if
no.
you have dust and anything like that, that's already a red flag.
Yeah, if you can create a tub, you get a big see-through tub. Put 2 holes in it, clean it out with alcohol, and then put everything you need inside of it, and then do the procedures you need to do. Okay.
If you don't have a sterile environment.
Yeah, that means you can't do it in a big fashion like you want to, but
Yeah,
it's
it would
the
be
best way
harder
to
to
do
work
it
with,
for
but,
for success.
higher success rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we did
Mhm.
that, like it succeeded for the most part, but we had an error.
If you want to do it on a big
So-
tub, what we recommend is go to the restroom, clean it as best from top to bottom, as you can, and do it there. Okay.
Mhm.
But once you have the layers of este mycelium and you have it packed down and it's nice and wet, like I said, 1 or 2 drops after you squeeze it,
Yeah.
you tape up the holes that I said that you need. You tape them up very well.
Or you should already have them taped up.
No, yeah, either one. but you have them already taped, and you're gonna wait. You're gonna do the same process as you did with the raspberries. You're gonna let the mycelium colonize the whole thing. Once it's colonized,
the expected time should be like 2 weeks more or less, like just to
depends on the size.
Depends on the strain too, and like how strong.
And depends how you mix the bag of raspberries.
Yeah,
with
so
the
like do your research, but ahead of time, like more or less should take 2 weeks. Don't like keep an eye on it thoroughly, but be aware of what it looks like. As long as it's the color that it's recommended, you should be okay. But be aware of any germination, any like contact with
any kind of mold starts growing. If you have
separate it.
Yeah, if you have multiple sets, separate it. If you don't, you could do a little small procedure to try to take it out. As soon as you see it, get a sterile knife, cut it out as best as possible. Make sure you don't drop anything and throw it away.
But even then, that's still risky.
It's not gonna mean
success. Yeah, it's not a much high success rate. But again, that's why I recommend.
You're going to try to save it.
Yeah, exactly. But any sport, that's the issue.
No, yeah.
But continue.
Okay.
What were you saying?
So you cover it up, wait until it gets fully colonized, like I said, and then you take off the tape and you add a small thin layer on the top, and then a small thin layer on the bottom of tape. And it's just so.
Or change the tape because like then it gets.
No. It's because you want airflow now. You want small airflow going in, and you want small airflow going out
airflow,
too.
like simulating like real life or whatever.
Yeah, you want to try to recreate nature. Again, so you don't. When mushrooms grow, they grow under a little bush, and that bush keeps the mushrooms cool and everything. But it still has sun going through, which keeps it warm. Mm-hmm. And that it vaporizes that coolness.
Yeah, because it has that like shade from the bush or whatever. Yeah. Basically, like.
And then the leaves catch the vapor and it drops back down. It's you're just trying to create nature.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing. As best as possible.
Exactly. With the light process as well. Like if a mushroom needs light, like.
Some of them do. Some of them don't. Some of them are grown under very dark places. They get a little bit of light, casi nada. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So that's what you're just trying to do. Recreate nature.
Yeah, recreate their like life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So and basically like more or less after like 2 months or so, like after like the whole process you've gone through.
No, after it's fully colonized, and you add the tape on top and bottom, it should start growing within a week or two.
Well, I wouldn't say within a week.
Bro, it's instant.
I wouldn't say it's instant. Yeah, like you said, week or two, but like at the same time, like it could take a month.
No, bro. Okay. I'm saying if it's fully colonized from the top and bottom, by the time you take off the tape.
Oh no, yeah, I misread you for sure. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying after. I'm saying after it's fully colonized already. It's fully you see the mycelium covering the whole.
No, yeah, but that process altogether more or less like a month.
Yeah, that takes like a month or so.
Yeah, just so we can give you all like a time.
No, we're making it sound bad. It takes a month for the one that we did. We did a big one, but if people do a small,
it depends on the
one. It should take like 2 weeks.
Because again, you're thinking about. You're thinking about like the inoculation radius. If you're thinking about like how the girlfriend probably did it, like the Andy's girlfriend she did it in a small batch, just like 3 inches of like like with the.
Yeah, and only it worked in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about how long it takes to spread. So. It also determines like the amount of thickness, like potency, and also how long it could last. It could last more longer, like a couple more months. The other one lasts like a month, maybe a couple weeks. Yeah.
But anyways, continue what you're saying.
Where did I leave off?
You were leaving off saying like once it was fully colonized.
Oh, once it's fully colonized, you take off the tape, the air hits it, and little pins start growing from the droplets of the moisture coming down. As soon as that happens, bunch of shrooms start growing from those little pins. Those little pins turn into mushrooms. It's so amazing. Yeah. People from one day to the next, they're just there.
Yeah, like after
it's so amazing.
Yeah, like how you said, like after 2 weeks, you just basically burped it and they're there. Like you started to see like little pins.
I remember the first time we grew mushrooms. We did mushrooms that day. We didn't have any mushrooms. We saw the thing.
Or just okay, let's fucking check it.
Then the middle of the night, we checked the mushrooms while we're dripping, and then they're fucking.
They grew instantaneously.
They were there. Like one day they weren't there. The next day they were. not fully, like not big, but they were a bunch there. You know, it was just
I
amazing.
highly recommend y'all watch mushroom time lapses.
They're fucking amazing.
But continue, sorry.
Yeah. So, if you guys want to get down to growing mushrooms on your own, the best things I could recommend is be as sterile as you can when you inoculate, when you get them transferred, when you like put them in the with the fuck with the dirt, with the whatever you're gonna mix it with.
The manure with you know cocoa coir.
Whenever you're moving the mycelium, anything that has to do with the mushroom stuff, it has to have at least bacteria, because bacteria is what it is, and bacteria fights bacteria if it's not the same, you know. And the problem is you don't want the wrong bacteria. You want to grow what you want to grow. If you grow something else, it's dangerous, and you don't know. It could look exactly the same. That's the problem.
Yeah,
There's mushrooms that look so similar and they're so dangerous. I don't know if that could happen. Like you grow some
not due
mysterious
to the
mushroom.
mold, but
Yeah.
no, but regardless, it is dangerous for the mushroom itself. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, because you're talking about that specifically, us ourselves, we had an issue where we contaminated one of our batches, and like we ended up going like some pink mold or orange mold.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, we ended up separating that one and keeping it under like like under a personal eye. We ended up scooping it up, like taking out bits at a time. It ended up basically looking like a mountain, like a mount.
Yeah, so we just threw it away the whole thing.
No. After a couple weeks,
No,
it
but
ended
we
up working.
tried to save it, and it was impossible. Like,
It was impossible at the end. Towards the end, we were
we
basically
gave it 2
taking
weeks,
chunks.
just removing chunks and chunks, and now it's just like it's not worth it anymore. It's just
It's just
we
losing
told,
too much
yeah,
mass. And that's what we're saying, like that's why it's also important, like if you
cleanliness.
cleanliness, and also if you're not willing to risk it, that's why you would do more than one quote unquote batch. You would separate, like if you can,
Yes,
like
keep
do
them
more
in
than
different monotubs.
yeah, monotubes
Alright.
different.
And the less you check on them, the less likely a bacteria hits them, because you have them closed in a monotub where it's secure. Make sure you have that tape where it leaves the air going through, but not bacteria.
Yeah.
That's why it's so great, the medical tape.
Mm.
Also, I would suggest LED lights. Don't buy any expensive ass lighting. You just need a very basic lighting. It doesn't need actual
Yeah.
maybe a small fan. You don't need that much. You just gotta put it in a small contained area where it's clean, and it's gonna no one's
survive
gonna
the temperature.
no one's gonna mess
touch
with it or anything. Yeah.
Like cleanliness again, like how you said, and that's why like again, don't keep your eye on it too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's an issue. Cleanliness.
Yeah.
But you had anything else you wanted to add? You said about like mushroom stuff. I don't know. Maybe not.
No, that was it. I was just about how to grow it, and we basically did it.
Okay, yeah. I feel like we outlined it pretty well. So, all right.
We'll just call it
on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.